Listen to me closely, because what you're about to hear may shake you to your core. The truth is this: every person walking this earth carries an invisible field around them, a force that whispers louder than their words, stronger than their reputation, and more persuasive than their resume. Call it energy, call it aura, call it spirit. But know this: it is your unseen broadcast to the world. And here's the part most never realize: that aura is either magnetizing abundance into your life or silently repelling it. Have you ever walked into a room where someone's presence changed the air? They didn't speak. They didn't even look at you. Yet something inside told you, this person carries weight. They radiate conviction, belief, certainty. That is aura trained to attract wealth. And on the opposite end, you've met those who seem defeated before they've begun. They carry despair, hesitation, and lack. Without a word, their aura announces failure. Napoleon Hill understood this deeply. He didn't call it aura. He called it a state of mind charged with definiteness of purpose. He wrote in Think and Grow Rich that riches come not to those who merely wish, but to those who radiate belief so powerfully that others cannot resist aligning with them. Think about that word, radiate. It means your thoughts don't stay trapped inside your skull. They escape you. They color the atmosphere around you. They infect the minds of others, pulling them toward or away from you. And here's the shocking reality: your aura is already trained. It's been conditioned by years of habits, by the way you've spoken to yourself, by how you've faced hardship. If you've filled your mind with self-doubt, procrastination, fear, then your aura carries it like a scent. People smell it, opportunities sense it, even chance itself bends away from it. But if you've learned to train discipline, to fuel faith, to direct your mind like a laser on a definite purpose, your aura becomes electric. People feel compelled to trust you. Wealth is drawn to you. Abundance finds you. Look back at the legends history remembers. Thomas Edison, the man who failed more than 10,000 times in pursuit of the electric light. Imagine the aura of a man who could fail 10,000 times and still radiate certainty. Do you think investors, workers, and dreamers followed him because of his failures? Number, they followed the invisible broadcast. The energy that said, "This will happen. I have already seen it. Follow me." Or consider Henry Ford. The world mocked him, called him foolish for insisting that the average man could own an automobile. Experts said it was impossible. Yet his aura was not one of arrogance, but conviction. He radiated such an atmosphere of certainty that people with money and talent aligned with him, believing in the impossible simply because Ford believed first. This is the lesson modern psychology now confirms. Your subconscious doesn't just shape your emotions, it shapes your posture, your tone, your presence. It dictates the micro signals people pick up on without ever realizing. Science calls it emotional contagion. Hill called it applied faith. But both point to the same truth. What you radiate is what you attract. And here is the pain most feel in silence. They work harder and harder, yet doors stay locked. They try new methods, new schemes, yet wealth seems to slip away. Why? Because their aura has not been trained. They are dragging the weight of doubt, fear, and scarcity into every handshake, every email, every opportunity. They are speaking words of ambition, but radiating an atmosphere of lack. And the universe listens to the broadcast, not the words. If you want to train your aura to attract wealth, it begins where all transformation begins, inside. It begins with taking ruthless command of your thoughts. Hill wrote that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. That means your aura must be trained to scream without words. I know where I'm going, nothing will stop me. And if you walk with me, you will arrive too. But here's the paradox. You don't wait until you have the wealth to radiate it. Number, you radiate wealth in your belief long before the first dollar arrives. Edison's aura glowed with light before the bulb ever burned. Lincoln's aura carried freedom before the chains were broken. Disney's aura radiated castles and dreams when he was bankrupt, drawing people who could not see what he saw until he trained them with his own certainty. That is how you begin. You don't try to attract wealth. You become wealth. You don't hope for abundance. You train your aura to broadcast abundance as though it is already here. And when that happens, people, ideas, opportunities, they cannot resist. exist. They orbit you because you've turned yourself into a magnetic field. The first step to training your aura is not what most imagine. It is not affirmations muttered half-heartedly in the mirror. It is not chasing every new scheme promising overnight riches. It is brutal honesty, facing yourself in silence and asking, what am I radiating right now? You see, every morning when you wake, you step into the world wearing an invisible suit of energy. Some people rise dressed in fear. Some wear apathy. Others cloak themselves in envy, frustration, or quiet desperation. And then there are the few who walk out armored in certainty, draped in gratitude, carrying an atmosphere that demands life bend to them. Napoleon Hill knew that the subconscious mind is the broadcasting station of this aura. It does not transmit what you want. It transmits what you believe. And this is why so many chase wealth but repel it at the same time. Outwardly, they ask for abundance. Inwardly, their subconscious whispers, I am not worthy. I am not ready. I don't believe. And the aura follows the whisper, not the words. Think of Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who mentored Napoleon Hill himself. Carnegie did not just build steel empires, he built men. He taught them that discipline of thought was greater than discipline of labor, because once your mind is trained, labor follows. Once your aura is trained, opportunities multiply. Carnegie radiated generosity and power. He spoke of giving away his fortune long before he actually did. And in doing so, his aura attracted the very networks, bankers, and builders who helped him expand far beyond his own capacity. This is where modern psychology and ancient wisdom collide, mirror neurons. Scientists have discovered that human beings unconsciously mimic the emotions and beliefs of those around them. When you train your aura to radiate wealth consciousness, calm confidence, belief in abundance, faith in the future, people mirror it back. Investors feel safer, clients feel trust, friends feel inspired, strangers sense a presence they cannot ignore. But here is the warning. Just as your aura can magnetize, it can repel. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. He wasn't talking about optimism. He was revealing the mechanics of aura. Because if you radiate defeat, people feel it. Banks don't lend, partners don't commit, doors don't open, and it has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with what your invisible broadcast announces before you've even spoken. So, how do you reprogram this broadcast? Hill gave us the formula. Definiteness of purpose, backed by applied faith, fueled by persistent action. These are not just principles. They are exercises in aura training. Imagine you have a tuning fork inside your chest. Every thought you repeat strikes it. Every belief you entertain vibrates it. Over time, your aura hums with the note you've been striking daily. If you've been striking fear, scarcity, hesitation, your aura sings a song of lack. But if you train yourself to strike the note of abundance, to discipline your mind with daily focus, to act in alignment with your purpose, soon the song changes. The room hears it before you speak. The world senses it before you arrive. Walt Disney understood this when he stood in swamps of Florida, staring at nothing but mosquitoes and mud. People laughed when he said he saw castles, laughter, and millions of families walking together through a place called Disney World. They didn't see it, but his aura carried it. He radiated the vision so strongly that bankers, architects, and dreamers eventually believed him. He trained his aura not by waiting for the kingdom to be built, but by walking among the swamps as if it were already alive. And here's what you must grasp. Your aura cannot be faked. You can trick people for a moment, but not for long. Energy betrays you. If your beliefs are weak, your aura will crack. If your doubts dominate, your aura will dim. That's why Hill insisted on autosuggestion, daily repetition of belief said with emotion until the subconscious accepts it as fact. He wasn't teaching superstition. He was teaching rewiring. Consider Abraham Lincoln. By all logic, he should have been forgotten, born in poverty. poverty, failed in business, defeated in elections again and again. Yet when people met him, they sensed something unbreakable. His aura carried not bitterness from failure, but resolve from persistence. That energy rallied a divided nation. It wasn't just words on paper that freed millions. It was the unshakable aura of a man who refused to yield. You have that same power. Right now, your aura may be cluttered with scars of disappointment, with the static of fear, but every scar can be reforged into signal. Every fear can be transmuted into faith. The same way steel is forged in fire, your aura is sharpened in discipline. When you align your thoughts with purpose, your emotions with faith, and your actions with persistence, your aura stops being noise. It becomes music. It becomes a frequency of wealth and abundance. And when that happens, you don't chase success. Success chases you. There comes a moment in every life where the choice is made consciously or unconsciously, to either remain ordinary or to step into power. That moment is not written on a calendar. It does not arrive with a warning bell. It arrives in silence, in the still hours when no one is watching. It arrives when your old self whispers, "Stay small, stay safe, don't risk, don't believe." And in that moment, your aura either collapses or it rises. The wealthy you admire, the legends you study, they were not chosen by luck. They trained their aura in the darkest of times. Think of Edison in his workshop, surrounded by broken filaments and failed experiments, the air thick with ridicule, yet his aura never dimmed. He radiated the certainty of light long before the world saw it. That energy bent reality. It pulled the invisible into existence. Or Ford, who faced bankruptcy and betrayal. He could have retreated. Instead, his aura declared, "I will put the world on wheels," and history obeyed. Or Disney, walking through those swamps, rejected by banks again and again, yet radiating so much belief that others caught fire from his vision. That is aura. That is trained energy. And so I ask you, what does your aura declare right now? Does it whisper defeat, or does it thunder destiny? Because make no mistake, your aura is not neutral. Every day you are training it. Every thought repeated, every emotion indulged, every action taken is bending it toward wealth or toward poverty, toward faith or toward fear. Napoleon Hill taught us that applied faith is action backed by belief, not idle wishing, not shallow affirmations, but bold steps taken as if the future were already secured. That is how aura transforms. Because aura is not just a state of mind, it is proof of what you dare to embody before the evidence arrives. Modern science now echoes this truth. Psychologists tell us your nervous system cannot tell the difference between vividly imagined reality and lived experience. When you see wealth in your mind, feel it in your bones, act in its alignment, your aura begins to broadcast it as if it were already here. And when that happens, the world responds. People align, resources flow, abundance finds you. But here is the painful secret. Most will never train their aura. They will go to their graves broadcasting scarcity, fear, hesitation. They will live as if the doors of fortune are locked, when in truth it was their own signal keeping the keys out of reach. Not you, not anymore. Because now you know, now you understand that your aura is your empire. It is your first impression, your silent voice, your greatest advertisement. And from this moment on, you have a choice to let it continue carrying the weight of doubt or to train it to thunder with wealth, abundance, and unshakable faith. So how do you begin? You start today by deciding your purpose so clearly that your aura begins to hum with it. You speak words of wealth, not as hope, but as fact. You discipline your mind daily, refusing to indulge the poison of fear. You act boldly, even when the evidence is not yet visible, and you repeat every day, every hour, until your subconscious accepts it, until your aura radiates it effortlessly. Remember this: people do not follow the most talented, they follow the most certain. Wealth does not flow to the desperate. It flows to the disciplined, to the radiant, to the ones who walk as though the outcome is already theirs. When Lincoln stood in the shadow of civil war, he had no guarantee, yet his aura carried the certainty of union, and a fractured nation followed. When Carnegie built steel empires, he had no roadmap, yet his aura carried expansion, and industries aligned. When Hill himself wrote Think and Grow Rich, he was not surrounded by abundance, but by the echoes of the Great Depression. And yet, his aura radiated hope so strongly that millions rebuilt their lives upon it. So hear me now. Your aura is your destiny. Train it with purpose, feed it with faith, guard it with discipline. And one day, you will stand where you once only dreamed, surrounded not by chance, but by the wealth and abundance you magnetized. Because in the end, the universe does not give you what you wish for. It gives you what your aura declares you are. So let your aura speak for you. Let it thunder louder than your doubts. Let it glow so brightly that no opportunity can ignore you. And when the world asks, how did you do it? You will smile because the truth will be too simple, too powerful, too ancient to explain. You will know as Hill knew, as Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Lincoln, and Disney knew, that wealth was never something you chased. It was something you radiated, and once you radiate it, the world has no choice but to deliver.